So Nicole, Beth told me you guys have been playing with magnets and electricity.
Yes, I'm playing with magnets right now, actually.
They're always fun.
They are. I love them.
So in talking about them, you were talking about, what is electricity? Do you understand what that is?
Okay, I understand that electricity has something to do with electrons, and the static electricity we were doing had to do with the electrons moving from one place to another, and magnets have to do with electrons moving from one place to another. Is that right?
You are very good. Yep. So magnets will be attracted to things like metal,
Okay.
like this countertop,
Right, which is why.
because it has some electrons that it can attract.
Okay,
But
that's part
if-
of it's like makeup.
But I'm not. I have electrons too.
Mm-hmm.
But my atoms like to hold on to their electrons. That's why the magnet doesn't stick to me.
Huh, interesting. Okay.
But the really cool thing is that magnets can make electricity happen.
Okay, how does that?
So, you know about wires, right?
I do.
So
yeah.
wires are made of metal.
Right, and they conduct electricity.
And they can let their electrons flow down there.
Okay,
So those magnets are going to attract and repel electrons.
right.
And that is how they make a motor.
All right.
So this motor here, I've taken it apart.
Uh-huh.
If you look closely, you can see,
The coiled wires. right
coiled
there, and the copper
wires.
wires, which is
Right.
a good conductor of electricity.
and here, these are magnets. So you can tell it's a magnet because this
Because it's
metal
like getting
stick-
stuck to it.
or
Yeah.
it'll stick here. Those magnets make the electrons in these wires move.
That makes sense. Okay.
All right. This is just a giant machine. To do that, it's got a hand crank and a motor, bigger than this one, but it still has
But it's
the
the same basic
coil, the
concept.
wire, and
And the
magnets. And then, with that, let me take this off for now. We can make electricity. And those electrons are going to pass through that light bulb.
And they're going to make the light bulb go on.
make the light bulb go on.
So the electrons are transferring.
And that is exactly how power plants make electricity. They have giant motors, which in this case are called generators.
Okay.
And something makes this turn. So in the power plants here, it would be the steam that will make it turn of burning. But this could also be a wind turbine or a dam.
Okay.
Can make hydroelectric power. So the same principle. And those electrons can then send through the wires into your house.
So, like in Gulf Power, it's coal, right?
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
cool too. Sorry, that was just a little bit. I'm done now.
All right. But what's also cool is in your house, you might have something that has
Like a ceiling
motor.
fan.
A ceiling fan. And ceiling fans have motors,
Right.
just like this motor. And so we can hook this to here.
I'll hold that.
Do the honors, and I turn.
And it makes it move. That's very cool because the electrons are bouncing around in there and then they move down the wire over to here. The electrons go into this magnet that also has electrons in it.
So they're not going in the magnet, they're making the wire.
Or they're making the wires.
have electrons
Electrons.
moving, and that'll attract and repel the magnet.
The magnet.
And so then they will spin.
Very cool.
What's interesting in this case, this motor is much bigger than that one. So
Yes.
when I turn a full revolution,
It
that's
goes-
going more.
Mm-hmm.
But in actuality, if I had an equal size motor, I have to turn this more than a turn for that to turn once.
That makes sense.
Because there's
Because it's all this to travel.
all that to travel, and you lose some of that power.
That's cool.
So, magnets and static and electrons, all of that's going to come together and make the electricity that runs your house. And in some cases, if you have a hybrid or electric car,
Run
you
your car. That's awesome. Thank you, Megan.
You're
That's very
welcome.
cool. I'm going to play with this.
All
now.
right, enjoy.
I'm going to enjoy that.